It was senior comrades, and not the demands of Orthodox activists who convinced Apti Alaudinov, the commander of the Akhmat special forces, to apologize to Schema-Abbot Gavriil. However, in the context of the practice of public apologies designed by the Chechen authorities, the case became unique of its kind. Recall, at the end of May, during a sermon, the priest Gabriel said that the believers gathered for the Eid al-Adha holiday were a healthy army of Muslims who, on orders, could chop up Muscovites, and the police would not even have time to move. This statement caused a wide public outcry, so the Valaam monastery removed Gabriel from service. Subsequently, the commander of the Chechen special forces, Akhmat, Apti Alaudinov, criticized him and used abusive language about him. Orthodox activists, in turn, accused the general of denigrating the Holy Order, sent complaints to the Investigative Committee and the Ministry of Defense, demanding his resignation. Alauddinov apologized to the priest, out of respect for his age, but the activists demanded that Alauddinov repent in front of the church. Then they held an 8-hour meeting with Alauddinov. According to the activists, he admitted his mistake in a private conversation. They explained this by valuing honest dialogue and a desire to prevent interfaith conflict, and decided that there was no need for a public apology. On June 19, Alauddinov's Telegram channel posted a video of him and priest Gabriel sitting at a table, announcing their reconciliation, and Alauddinov personally apologizing to Gabriel. They concluded that there were no differences between them and that their common goal was to fight the common enemy in Ukraine. Yevgeny Minchenko, the director of the Center for Political Elite Studies of the Institute of International Studies at the Moscow State Institute of International Relations, believes that the Apti Alaudinov's apology was largely forced. Considering the fact that he referred to his senior comrade several times, I think that someone recommended him to apologize, and it is clear that it was not the Orthodox community. Someone of his supervisors or of top-ranking law enforcers played their role in suggesting Apti Alaudinov to apologize to the Orthodox priest, Yevgeny Minchenko suggested. The Apti Alaudinov's apology is clearly formal in nature, the political analyst notes. He states that he is apologizing based on the age principle, which is not the same as admitting that Orthodox priests should not be insulted. He notes that, the person is older than me, so, probably, I shouldn't have called him an idiot. That is, the apology is very, very relative in nature, Yevgeny Minchenko stated. Russia's economy is, on the brink of going into a recession, the country's economy minister said Thursday, according to Russian media reports. Economy Minister Maxim Reshetnikov delivered the warning at the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum, the annual event in Russia's second-largest city designed to highlight the country's economic prowess and court foreign investors. Russian business news outlet RBC quoted the official as saying, "The numbers indicate cooling, but all our numbers are like a rear-view mirror. Judging by the way businesses currently feel and the indicators, we are already, it seems to me, on the brink of going into a recession." The economy, hit with a slew of sanctions after the Kremlin sent troops into Ukraine in February 2022, has so far outperformed predictions. High defense spending has propelled growth and kept unemployment low despite fueling inflation. At the same time, wages have gone up to keep pace with inflation, leaving many workers better off. Large recruiting bonuses for military enlistees and death benefits for those killed in Ukraine also have put more income into the country's poorer regions. But over the long term, inflation and a lack of foreign investments remain threats to the economy, leaving a question mark over how long the militarized economy can keep going. Economists have warned of mounting pressure on the economy and the likelihood it would stagnate due to lack of investment in sectors other than the military. Speaking at a forum session, Reshetnikov said Russia was on the brink, and whether the country would slide into a recession or not depends on the government's actions. Going forward, it all depends on our decisions, Reshetnikov said, according to RBC. RBC reported Russia's finance minister Anton Siluanov and central bank governor Elvira Nabiullina gave more optimistic assessments. Siluanov spoke about the economy cooling, but noted that after any cooling, the summer always comes, RBC reported. Nabialina said Russia's economy was merely coming out of overheating, according to RBC.
Russia launched the first mechanized assault in a long time in the Konstantinovka direction. According to military expert Alexander Kovalenko, about 15 armored vehicles and up to 10 light tanks took part in the attack, but the result was catastrophic. All the equipment was destroyed by the Ukrainian defense, including means from FPV drones to long unused Javelin ATGMs. The technology has been annihilated, but the very fact of this attempt is already a signal, Kovalenko writes. According to the expert, Russian forces are significantly behind their offensive schedules. Settlements that were supposed to be captured in the spring, like Komar, Malinovka, Mirolyubovka, Romanovka, and others, are only now becoming targets for the summer phase of the offensive. This means that all strategic preparations have failed, and the current offensive has begun in positions that were supposed to be bridgeheads several months ago. The chaos in the command and control of the troops deserves special attention. Kovalenko points out the paradoxical situation. The 8th Army, which was sent to support the 51st OVA, is now itself asking for reinforcements from the same 51st Army, which, in turn, has been unsuccessfully storming the Toretsk agglomeration for a year. This interchangeable split indicates an over-expenditure of resources, exhaustion of brigades, and a failure of logistics at the front. Against the backdrop of an acute shortage of armored vehicles and the need to save every armored vehicle, the Russian command is taking extreme measures. It is introducing into battle the remnants of Soviet reserves that were removed from storage long ago. This is evidence not only of the technical degradation of the army, but also of the fact that the offensive resources are practically exhausted. The mechanized assault, which ended with the complete destruction of the equipment, became a symbol of the failure of the Russian Federation's summer offensive campaign. The army is losing momentum, transferring units without logic, and strategic goals are being postponed from spring to summer and then to nowhere. Russia is losing the operational initiative, is forced to take risky steps, and is using up its last combat-ready reserve.